Good morning, dear students. I am Vaishali Soni going to discuss about Aristotle's Poetics. Especially, I will discuss one-liner of Aristotle's Poetics. But before going in detail, I just want to tell you about Aristotle. Aristotle was a great Greek philosopher and polymath during the classical period in ancient Greek. He was the disciple of Plato. He was the founder of Poetics school of philosophy. At 17 or 18 years of age, he joined Plato's academy in Athens and remained there until the age of 37. Shortly after Plato died, Aristotle left Athens at the request of Philip II of Macedonia. He tutored Alexander the Great. We can say that work of Aristotle is most important and the only surviving work during that time. Now I just want to tell you about the main characteristics of his Poetics. Poetics consists of 26 chapters and it is divided into 5 parts. Basically, when I'm talking about this chapter, firstly, we are going to discuss about key terms of that chapter. He had described the definition of poetry. He has given the concept of tragedy, in which the first element of tragedy was plot. And according to Aristotle, plot is the soul of tragedy. In this chapter, Poetics, Aristotle described the term catharsis. Catharsis means purgation or purification. Part number 1 of this chapter deals with the tragedy, comedy and epic poetry, whereas part number 2 of this chapter deals with definition and constructions of tragedy. Part 3 deals with catharsis, denouement and diction, whereas part number 4 deals with the possible criticism of epic tragedy. Part number 5 and the last one deals with the tragedy as artistically superior to epic, that epic poetry in general. Now, one by one we are going to discuss about these terms. When I am talking about peripeteia, what is that? Peripeteia is a reversal of fortune. For example, Sophocles' Oedipus Rex is the great example of that. Oedipus was raised by different parents. For his parents, he feared the prophecy that he would kill his father and marry to his mother, believing he is innocent, and Oedipus is angered. This is the kind, we can say, this is an example of peripeteia. Now, when I'm talking about what is mimetic? Mimetic means imitation of an action. Now, a few more terms are there, just your anagnosis. When I'm talking about agnosis, this is the moment of discovery by the protagonist, discovery of the change from ignorance to knowledge. Now, one more term is there, hamartia. Basically, when I'm talking about hamartia is a tragic flaw. And what is plot? An artistic arrangement of incident is called plot. And one term is diction here. Diction means selection of the word. I'm repeating my words again. Peripeteia is a change of fortune, whereas anagnosis is the discovery and change from ignorance to knowledge. Now, one more thing I just want to tell you. The concept of poetic justice that is given by Thomas Rhymer, and virtue is rewarded and the evil is punished, that is the concept given by Thomas Rhymer, that is a great writer of that time. Now, when I'm talking about diction, what is that? That is a selection of word. Now, there is a few questions asked in previous examination, such as chapter 6 to chapter 9 of the Poetics, that is related to tragedy. And especially when I'm talking about the plot, there are two kinds of plot, simple plot and complex plot. But Aristotle put emphasis on the description of the concept complex plot. Complex plot consists of two things. First is your peripeteia and second one is anagnoses. Now, one more thing I just want to tell you. According to Plato, poetry is twice removed from reality. And one more thing he has discussed, that poetry is mimetic or imitative in nature. Now, there is a thing, there is a concept of hubris. Ma'am, hybris, you can say, that is a concept given by Aristotle in his Poetics, that hubris means, hybris means pride or arrogance. Ma'am, mythos, what is mythos? That question was asked in your previous net examination. When I'm talking about mythos, that is your plot. As I told you earlier, Aristotle had defined the term soul of tragedy as a plot. Now, two most important terms, peripeteia and anagnoses, that is your peripeteia is reversal of fortune, reversal of situation, whereas anagnoses is recognition of, you can say, truth or discovery of the truth. That is the change from ignorance to the knowledge. Now, one more thing I just want to tell you. There is another term, nemesis. Nemesis is the name of the goddess who enacts punishment, some kind of, that inflicted on someone's, or you can say somebody done wrong or done some criminal act. That's why nemesis is there. Nemesis means retribution. Now, there is another term, the term denouement. The term denouement comes at the end of the tragedy. Denouement is a French word, means unknotting. Conclusion after the climax, in which you can say the complexity of the plot are revealed. Denouement is occurred at the end of the tragedy. Ma'am, plot structure is described earlier about that. Now, I just want to tell you, this is all about few more questions I supposed to discuss. But before that, you just subscribe my channel and do like. Okay, thank you.